A very good morning to you. It is 7 a.m. Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. Couldn't keep me with no voice for long. Welcome to New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. The phone lines are open at 888-658-0234. Morning clouds, peaks of sun later. A little milder today, a little bit. Highs in the mid 40s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will be here in a sec with the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Mike, I don't know if you noticed the Powerball is $1.25 billion tonight. So I hope you got your ticket.
Oh wow, nobody won last week. Whoa. That is
Right.
a that is a
Keeps going
big,
up.
big number. I'll have to see, but I hear the chances of being struck by lightning are about 10 times higher, so I don't know.
Yet people get struck by lightning. We do the story all the time.
We do, we do. I don't know. We'll take my chances. I'm not sure what the financial advisor thinks about putting the money in the lottery. We'll have to check and see. Anyway, the forecast today, Ken, looking really beautiful for considering we'll be above freezing for the first time. You'll feel like $1 billion when you step outside with temperatures already above the freezing mark over toward Long Branch, 35 degrees, and even in Ship Bottom, we're up to near 40. How about that? There's not a whole lot of wind around right now, and with a little bit of sunshine today, it'll actually feel quite pleasant. Even the wind chill, 36 in Ship Bottom and 30 in Atlantic City. So the wind gusts a little bit higher toward the coast, but this is key. Look at that wind direction, pushing in warmer air from the south and west, keeping places even in the northwestern corner of the state tucked away, not all terribly cold. We are a solid 18 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. That is a nice way to start the day, and we'll keep it feeling fine right through this afternoon. Now, as far as the cloud cover, we had a little bit of cloud cover last night. Little cloudy right now, but we'll eventually break out into sun. And with that sunshine today, look how these temperatures warm into the mid 40s. A nice thaw taking over across New Jersey today. Later on this evening, even not terribly chilly. We're back just around the freezing mark. And then I think into tomorrow, warmer still. We could hit the low 50s across some parts of the state. There's your 52 in Mount Holly and 51 in Medford. Now, by tomorrow night, that's when some rain moves in. It's light and gentle at first, but then it starts to come down heavier later tomorrow night, culminating with some thunderstorms by Friday morning. So your Friday morning commute, windy, gusty, downpours, not looking pretty. The 54-degree start in Toms River with gusts that will change the wind direction and push that temperature down into the freezer. Just by later on in the evening, we'll be feeling like the teens by Friday night. So it is a weather whiplash on the way for Friday, starting off very mild, turning back to winter, and then staying with that winter chill right through Saturday and Sunday. So the next few days feature a little bit of a calmer, milder trend up in the mid 50s with some rain. Not all day Friday. It is dry by Friday afternoon, and then much colder for Saturday, Ken. So a little taste of spring. Here we are with like 3 seasons in one day ahead for Friday.
Gotta love it, or not. All right, Mike, thank you
Yeah.
very much. So we appreciate you. And the temperature right now, 22 degrees in Trenton. It's 24 degrees in northern New Jersey, and it is 21 degrees down in Vineland. So it's a bit warmer than it was yesterday, about 7 degrees warmer. We'll take it. And in terms of traffic, we got a lot of stuff going on right now. Disabled tractor trailer on I-78 eastbound west of exit 26, which is Rattlesnake Bridge Road in Reddington Township. There it is. There you have it. So we understand the center lane of 3 lanes closed right now. And that's causing the delays you see there. The middle stretch of lanes, that's what's being affected right there. We have a down pole on Route 23 northbound south of 695 Echo Lake Road in West Milford. The right lane is closed. And a down pole on Route 9 both directions north of Hope Corson Road in Upper Township. All lanes closed there. On the Jersey Turnpike, there are delays in a roadway northbound near interchange 14 I-78 Elizabeth. All lanes open, but there's a 2-mile delay due to volume. A lot of ice on the roads too, so be careful with that. We also have some issues at the Hudson River crossings. Right now, the Lincoln and Holland are both reporting 25 to 30 minutes. GWB upper and lower levels 80-95 approach. Take a look. Remember, it's a gridlock alert day in Manhattan, so this is not to be unexpected. In other words, you should expect the traffic you're looking at right now. It's going to cost you 40 minutes into Manhattan at this hour. 7:05 right now. New video of the stocky person of interest connected to the Brown University mass shooting was released yesterday as the gunman killed 2 students, is still on the run. The video shows the suspect throughout the city leading up to and after the shooting. Sources say, pardon me, sources say there is an individual being investigated and his motivations may be political. Police will not yet confirm that, though. Meanwhile, a Jewish pro-Israel MIT professor less than an hour's drive away in Brookline, Massachusetts, another serious university, just like Brown, this professor was murdered in his home Tuesday night. Investigators are now trying to figure out if there may be a link between the two situations. 7:06 right now, a former NYPD officer from Yonkers has been sentenced to 10 years in New Jersey State Prison for a shooting that left a Garden State man brain damaged and paralyzed. Hugh Tran shot the victim in Voorhees last May while he was off duty and using his service weapon. Prosecutors say Tran was drinking at a wedding, then got behind the wheel and got into a road rage incident with 32-year-old Kishan Patel, shot him, and that ended up triggering a 5-vehicle crash. Patel now requires round-the-clock care at a rehab facility in Texas. Tran pleaded guilty to attempted murder last month and has been fired by the NYPD. President Trump has ordered a blockade of all Venezuelan oil tankers to pressure that nation's dictator to resign. So no oil in or out of Venezuela right now. Pardon me. Meanwhile, War Secretary Pete Hegseth said yesterday the U.S. attacked 3 more boats for smuggling drugs, killing a total of 8 people. The government posted a video of a boat moving through the water before exploding.
So we're proud of what we're doing, able to lay it out very directly to these senators and soon to the House, but it's all classified, we can't talk about it now. We're also going to tomorrow allow the HASC and SAS to see the unedited video of the September 2nd, alongside with Admiral Bradley, who has done a fantastic job, has made all the right calls, and we're glad to be there to do it. But in keeping with long-standing Department of War policy, Department of Defense policy, of course we're not going to release a top secret, full unedited video of that to the general public. HASC and SAS and appropriate committees will see it, but not the general public.
Well, President Trump says the attacks are justified as a necessary escalation to stem the flow of drugs into the U.S. The latest boat strikes come as Hegseth is on Capitol Hill to brief Congress on the Trump administration's military campaign. President Trump will address the nation at 9 tonight and is expected to touch on this issue. Nick Reiner has been charged with 2 counts of murder in connection with the fatal stabbing of his parents, Michelle and Rob Reiner, according to the Los Angeles County DA's office. If convicted, he could face the death penalty, although they said they're not necessarily pursuing that right now. The stabbing occurred early on December 14th. Reiner was taken into custody later that night. A mass shooting in which 15 people were killed during a Hanukkah celebration at Sydney's Bondi Beach was, quote, a terrorist attack inspired by Islamic State. That, according to Australia's federal police commissioner. The suspects were a father and son. The older man, Sajid Akram, was shot dead. His son is being treated at a local hospital. Now, police in India said the older suspect, who is dead, held an Indian passport. He migrated to Australia in 1998 looking for work. A Lebanese Maronite Christian man, Ahmed al-Ahmed, is credited with disarming the gunman. Ahmed al-Ahmed literally went face to face with a rifle pointed right at him, could have blown him away at any moment, and he disarmed the gunman. And then when he had the rifle, he could have killed the gunman, and he didn't. Ahmed al-Ahmed is a hero, and leaders around the world are praising his actions. Everybody immediately assumed he was because he was Middle Eastern, that he was Muslim. He has since come out and said he is a Maronite Catholic, a Maronite Christian Catholic. The Maronites are predominantly in Lebanon. Many of them have been persecuted by Muslims, slaughtered by Muslims over the last 60 years or so. 7:10 is our time. Have you seen the price of gas in New Jersey lately? It has been falling a lot. What helps account for that is the falling price of crude oil. Now, as of yesterday, U.S. crude fell below $55 a barrel. That's the lowest price since early 2021. Have you heard a freaking word of this on ABC, NBC, CBS? Not a peep. Well, compare the current cost under President Trump to the cost under Biden. In 2022, Biden had the cost per barrel up to $131 a barrel, because remember, fossil fuels are evil. 2.5 times the current cost under Biden versus Trump. Remember, lower fuel prices helped lower the cost of everything, because everything needs to be transported and delivered by a gas-burning vehicle or by an electric vehicle that usually charges up from a power plant that has fossil fuels powering it. So one way or the other, fossil fuels are behind it all. I expect to see oil prices drop soon, albeit slowly, throughout 2026, but just be patient. Little dirty trick the Democrats in New Jersey are pulling right now, though. As the federal gas taxes have come, not gas taxes, but gas prices have come down under Trump, New Jersey's Democrats are raising the state tax on gas by 19 cents a gallon. So as you see the cost of gas coming down, the taxes under New Jersey liberals are now going to be almost 50 cents a gallon. So it won't appear the gas prices are down in New Jersey, but don't blame President Trump for it. Keep voting Democrat, folks. They're the ones causing your gas prices not to come down. 7-Eleven, the head of New Jersey's largest LGBT advocacy group, is facing charges of assault and child endangerment. Christian Fuscarino, seen here with Governor-elect Mikey Sherrill, is the executive director of Garden State Equality. He's been that for 11 years, or 9 years rather. His attorney calls the November 9th incident a difficult personal family moment. Fuscarino is a foster parent. According to a Monmouth County prosecutor's office affidavit, Fuscarino is seen on video pulling a child who was under his care from a bed, and he appears to strike him several times across the face before allegedly pushing him into a bedroom wall. Fuscarino now on leave from Garden State Equality. The Archdiocese of Newark's Mercy House is spreading holiday cheer with its annual Christmas gift giveaway, sharing thousands of new toys with families in need. Smiles lit up the room as staff and volunteers handed out toys, games, and stocking stuffers to kids 17 and under, helping make the season a little brighter for families facing tough times. 22 degrees now. 7:13, morning clouds, peaks of sun later, a little milder. Highs in the mid-40s. The full Garden State forecast when we return. You're watching on New Jersey Mornings. We're coming right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Welcome back to ONNJ Mornings for your Wednesday at 7:15. Morning clouds, peaks of sun later, a little milder today, highs mid-40s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Well, Mike, it certainly isn't as frigid out. I mean, it's about 6 or 7 degrees warmer now than it was a day ago. Still cold. It's certainly not summer.
In some places, yes, Ken, but there are other places it is a solid 18 to 20 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. So really,
Wow.
really mild weather on the way for today. I know. And that'll kind of set the trend of the milder forecast ahead. It's even going into tomorrow. There are some clouds around right now in northern New Jersey, but most of the state featuring a little bit of clearing. And look how that sun warms us, of course, in combination with that southerly breeze, helping highs get to 46 over in Point Pleasant, 46 as well for you in Toms River, and 43 up in New Brunswick. With that, we don't have much of a wind chill this afternoon. Even tonight, wind chills are only in the 20s, which is better than the single digits than they were just 2 days ago. But as those winds really start to ramp up for tomorrow night, even by 7 a.m., the warmest it will be, feeling like the mid-50s for the Friday morning commute. And then we see that temperature come crashing down as soon as the early evening. By 8 o'clock, it'll feel like 11 up in Sussex on Friday night, 18 in Long Branch, and it keeps staying chilly all throughout the overnight into Saturday morning. So yes, that rush of winter air returns quickly, just in time for the upcoming weekend, and it stays cool as well. Wind gusts are notable specifically for the day on Friday. We start off very windy. Winds really get going, I think, Thursday afternoon. Friday morning, you see them up around 40 miles per hour at the shore, could be increasing to near 50 mile per hour gusts on Friday morning as that front pushes through. And then with the wind shifting and switching direction, blowing from the west, it's even gustier throughout the evening with the harsh cold through Friday afternoon. So those winds stay pretty gusty all throughout the day on Friday, even though they're coming from different directions through the course of the day. With the bigger view showing a pretty quiet pattern ahead, here's our rain setting up for tomorrow night. That takes a while to get here, but until that happens, we're dry today. Sunshine, temperatures climbing to about average in the mid-40s, and it stays pleasant all throughout. You see that rain start to come in by tomorrow evening, clear out by Friday, and then we have a nice quiet weekend ahead. Not a whole lot of rain this weekend. In fact, it's mostly cloudy with a few breaks of sun, and temperatures climb back into the mid-40s, Ken, by Sunday.
All right, Mike, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. It is a chilly 22 degrees in Trenton, still better than it was yesterday, as Mike was talking about. It is 24 degrees now, northern New Jersey, 25 degrees in Cape May. A lot warmer than yesterday. Gosh, about 10 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. And it is 15 degrees still in Vineland. So Vineland being more inland, they still stay a little bit colder, but along the shore, it is definitely warmed up. In terms of traffic, let's go over to, let's do 287 first, Pam. We have a crash on 287 southbound, south of exit 12. Oh, they're moving the cam a little bit on us. There we go, just to show you what's going on here. So, there we go. All right, so this is on 287 southbound, south of exit 12, Route 623 Franklin, 2 right lanes closed, and that's causing this lengthy delay that you see right now on 287. We have a downed pole on Route 23 northbound, south of 695 Echo Lake Road in West Milford. The right lane is closed there. Over to I-78 now. I-78 eastbound, we have a disabled tractor trailer just west of exit 26, which is Rattlesnake Bridge Road in Reddington Township. The left lane is closed there. And we have a down pole on US 9 in both directions, north of Hope Corson Road in Upper Township. All lanes are closed. Your Hudson River crossings right now, Lincoln Tunnel is talking 30 minutes in. Your why do I do that all the time? The Holland Tunnel is the best bet at 25 minutes. GWB upper and lower levels very heavy because we do have a grid lock alert day once again in effect. You can see the upper level on the right basically stopped, lower level on the left. It's going to cost you about 40 minutes in. It is 7:20 now, and the FBI did not believe that agents had probable cause to execute a search warrant at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in August of 2022. That is according to Senator Chuck Grassley, and it was confirmed by FBI Director Kash Patel. Agents spent 6 weeks unable to establish probable cause to raid Mar-a-Lago, but they did so anyway. Grassley also claimed there are emails and other documents proving there was an absolute miscarriage of justice against Donald Trump. Former President Joe Biden's Attorney General Merrick Garland signed off on the search over the objections of many at the FBI. A judge later dismissed the case, ruling that special counsel Jack Smith was unlawfully appointed to begin with. So the whole thing was illegal. Jack Smith was unlawfully appointed. He had no authority, and yet he went ahead and demanded certain bits of investigatory matter that he had no authority to request. And then you had the FBI saying, we don't have probable cause, so we can't go into Mar-a-Lago. And Merrick Garland not only said, damn it, do what I tell you and go into Mar-a-Lago, but he sent 100 or so FBI agents with their sirens ablazing when the president wasn't there. And they went through Melania's underwear drawer and Barron's personal items and even broke the safe in President Trump's office. Somebody's got to go to jail for this. That is an absolute violation of privacy. Even if this wasn't a former president of the United States, they had no probable cause, and the person requesting it was not lawfully appointed. The whole thing stinks. Somebody's got to be held accountable. President Trump has sued the BBC for $10 billion over the editing in a documentary in which there was left a mistaken impression, that's what they call it, that Trump called for violent action before the storming of the Capitol. Trump accused the BBC of defamation. The president's legal team said the lawsuit was meant to hold the British network accountable for its wrongdoing. The BBC edited together 2 separate portions of Trump's speech to supporters on January 6, 2021, portions that were actually spoken nearly an hour apart.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
So there's a big difference between we're going to go to the Capitol with that eerie music and we're going to fight like hell versus no music and we're going to go down to the Capitol and honor the brave congressmen and women. I think there's a little difference there. The BBC insists their edit was not defamatory. If it wasn't, then why did you do it? Steven Spielberg's new UFO thriller Disclosure Day is coming out next summer. Spielberg's team has released the film's first trailer. New Jersey audiences will recognize familiar sights as some of the film was shot earlier this year in Middlesex, Cape May, and Atlantic counties, with locals serving as paid extras. The movie hits theaters June 12th. And New Jersey legislators are trying to slip into law a quick one before the end of the year, the Climate Superfund Act. Don't let them do it. Write your legislators. The bill would require certain fossil fuel companies to help pay for the costs associated with supposed climate change impacts in the state. Liberals ignore the fact that those companies, which provide fuel for your heat for the winter, will simply pass on the added cost to you and me. Where do you think they're going to get the money? Out of their ass? They're going to get it from you. New Jersey has some of the highest energy costs right now in the entire nation. All my liberal friends are like, good, screw the fossil fuel companies. Dude, they take the money from you because they're going to raise your rates. If this disaster is allowed to go through, expect your energy costs to double. That's it. Keep voting Democrat and that's what you get. Sorry. New Jersey has joined a multi-state lawsuit against Uber, alleging deceptive consumer practices tied to its Uber One subscription service. By the way, if New Jersey wins this, Uber prices are going to go up in New Jersey too. I mean, this is Democrats. See, the Democrat lawmakers know this. And they sneak it by making you think they're just punishing the evil companies when in fact they're punishing you. State Attorney General Matt Platkin, the most liberal human on the planet, says the service was marketed as easy to cancel, but was actually extremely difficult for consumers to do so. See, Matt thinks you're all stupid. Uber One typically costs $96 a year and renews automatically. The lawsuit seeks restitution and penalties. And Congressman Josh Gottheimer honored 20 North Jersey residents during his 5th District Hometown Heroes ceremony at the Barrymore Film Center in Fort Lee. Among the honorees was 99-year-old World War II veteran Augie Cacavone, a Bronze Star recipient and Battle of the Bulge survivor, a true American hero. Other honorees included long-serving fire and police leaders and other local civic leaders. 7:25. Once again, State Attorney General Matt Platkin, the socialist, announced a settlement with the city of Hoboken aimed at expanding access to affordable housing. See, that's what he's calling it. Let me explain this story in a minute. There was an agreement reached that resolves a complaint alleging that Hoboken's residency preference for affordable housing applicants discriminated based on race. So in Hoboken, they had this housing set aside for Hoboken residents. Anyone in Hoboken who was a local could apply. Matt Platkin says, oh, that's racist. How is it racist when Hoboken is very diverse? But no, because some of the communities outside of Hoboken have higher numbers of Hispanics and Blacks and Asians too, for that matter. He's saying that the city of Hoboken must extend the preference to everybody in a 4-county radius. Why is the city of Hoboken responsible for taking care of people who live 4 counties around Hoboken? Why don't you just let Hoboken take on Hoboken residents? But this is the way liberals think. Opponents demanded allowing applicants to qualify anywhere from the 4 surrounding counties, and now that's what's going to happen. So the people of Hoboken get screwed. Their taxes have to pay for it. They don't get a place to live, but people around Hoboken who now have more rights because they are minority can move into Hoboken without Hoboken people having a say. That's the way socialists function, people. Keep voting Democrat, that's what you get. 7:26, Hackettstown will ring in 2026 with its 3rd annual New Year's Eve blast featuring the now signature M&M's ball drop at midnight. The celebration takes place from 8 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. in downtown Hackettstown. It's a lot of fun. This year's honorees are 38-year residents of Hackettstown, the longtime philanthropic Steve and Sharon Somers, who will press the button to lower the M&M's ball alongside Mayor Jerry DeMeo. If you can't make it in person, it'll be streamed on Facebook and YouTube. And in yesterday's frigid temperatures, Bayonne hosted the groundbreaking of New Jersey's newest TV and film production facility, 1888 Studios. The year 1888 refers to the year when the earliest known motion picture sequences were created, leading to modern-day film and TV cameras. The facility is on 58 acres and boasts Paramount as its main tenant. There'll be a 23 number sound stages with 40-foot high ceilings spread out over 1.1 million square feet. The project should be completed within 2 years. Once again, New Jersey becoming a hub for film and TV production. It is 7:28. Right now we have 22 degrees. When we come back, kids spend a lot of time on screens, especially over the holidays, and it's leading to an increase in tech debt. We will explain. You're watching ONNJ Mornings. We're back at
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
A very good morning to you. It is 7:30, Wednesday, December 17th. Welcome back to New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. Phone lines are wide open right now at 888-658-0234. Morning clouds, peaks of sun later. A little milder with highs in the mid-40s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
In New Jersey, we have several online means of buying lottery tickets, and being that Powerball is up to $1.25 billion for tonight's drawing, I think you owe it to Nino and to your beautiful wife to buy a Powerball ticket. Because if you find out that someone else in New Jersey won, I think you're going to be
I
sleeping
don't
in
know.
Rocco's house.
I don't know. I have to fund the IRA first, and then the 529.
The
You know,
IRA
these
or the
funds that
IRS?
all of
The
the funds
IRS.
that all the funds that the financial advisors like, just forget the lottery. Like, put the money where it grows and do that. But yes, the Powerball thing is a big deal. It's very popular for the gambling folk. Me, not so much. I'm more of I see those odds and I go, mm-mm. Not into those odds. But you know what? If you have an extra $2 around, are they still $2? I thought the price went up. I don't even know. But regardless, they're still $2. Wow. Huh. Hey, the forecast today, at least, looking still very, very pleasant. If you want to head out and get your lottery ticket, or maybe press your luck in Atlantic City, you've got plenty of mild weather to do so. 46 degrees will feel fantastic with all the sunshine today, and we get a decent amount of that clear sky into this afternoon. It's a little breezy right now along the coast, but plan on less wind through this afternoon, making it feel quite pleasant, especially as we climb into the mid-40s. There's a few clouds we're at right now through northern New Jersey. Those move on by through this afternoon. So plan on a pretty clear day with temperatures that climb into the upper 30s and low 40s. It'll feel quite nice. Now, tomorrow is cloudier, but we're dry through the morning. It's the afternoon that sees the clouds thicken up and some rain begin into tomorrow night. Temperatures soar and they stay in the 50s overnight. It's like turn the heat off kind of weather. That's how warm it will feel in comparison with that warm wind off of the water. And with that, thunderstorms come through for overnight into Friday morning. Some downpours, some gusty winds, gusts to 50 miles per hour, horizontal rain. A very, very spring-like picture almost. But it only lasts a few hours because the temperature comes crashing down as that front pushes through and drives down some very cold air. Take a look at the bigger picture showing the quiet weather today. We get high pressure in place for tomorrow, and then here's that line of storms that'll come through, ripping through New Jersey during the early morning hours on Friday, to be followed by very gusty and cold winds all afternoon. It's those winds that will make it feel that much colder and set the stage for a pretty calm and quiet weekend, a mix of clouds and sun, but seasonably chilly heading into the weekend. Now, everybody wants to know, we are a week away from Christmas Eve, so what does the forecast look like? Will we have a white Christmas? Well, the long-range futurecast down the road has by Tuesday night, this is Christmas Eve, Tuesday night, there's a little bit of light snow in the forecast with a clipper system that could put down a little round of white weather. Then there's Christmas Day, which may potentially have another round of moisture in the area. This is guidance. This is not gospel. Important to note that you may be hearing on social media, oh, it's going to be a Christmas storm. It's really too early to tell. But the signs are there for a little bit of moisture in the cold playing nicely, and there could be a little bit of potentially some winter weather around Christmas Day. But, the forecast will obviously be refined in the days to come. So something to watch, something fun, fancy may come through New Jersey and give us a little bit of snow. First, the warm air, the rain, and the winds for Friday. That clears out for a pretty calm weekend. And then heading into Monday and Tuesday, even the computer thinks there's going to be rain for Tuesday night, but still time to watch the forecast. Shore points, very gusty winds for you, likely some gale warnings going up at the coast, and then quiet into the weekend with a little bit of a milder feel into next weekend.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. We're just keeping you waiting because we want to show that beautiful face on camera a little longer to make the family happy for Christmas. Thank you very much, Mike. We appreciate you as always, sir. It is 22 degrees in Trenton right now, 25 degrees northern New Jersey. It is 24 degrees at Cape May and 21 degrees in Vineland. terms of traffic, take a look at what we got right now. This is 287. We have a crash on 287 southbound, south of exit 12, Route 623 in Franklin Township. 2 right lanes are now closed. We also have issues on the New Jersey Turnpike outer roadway, south of interchange 8, Route 33 in Robbinsville. All lanes are open, but you have lots of delays going through there as a result. We just now have a report at exit 83 on the Garden State Parkway. There is an overturned vehicle that just happened. And this is southbound Garden State, south of exit 83, which is Route 9 North and Tom's River. The left shoulder is now blocked as a result. We got a lot popping up here, folks. Wow. So there are 2 issues now in the Turnpike. We told you about the one at interchange 7. Now we have a crash that just happened on the New Jersey Turnpike outer roadway south of interchange 8, Route 33. So we have something on the inner roadway north of interchange 7 in Chesterfield, and something on the outer roadway southbound south of interchange 8 in Robbinsville. Just a mess. Crash now on 676 southbound at exit 5A, which is Federal Street in Camden. The ramp lane is closed. Let's take a look if we can. Oh, you know what? First, I'm sorry. We have a down pole, New Jersey Route 23, northbound south of 695 right now. And that is causing some big issues right now. This is, that's causing about a mile delay. Let's go over to the Hudson River crossings. Look at the, do we have 139, Pam? That's the Holland Tunnel approach. There we go. So this is the approach now to the Holland Tunnel. Look at this bumper to bumper. There's an issue right now. They're not telling us what it is, but it's in the Holland Tunnel. It's now going to cost you 45 minutes trying to make your way into Manhattan via the Holland. That's what you got right there. We should mention, you could switch over to the 495 cam if you want, Pam. We have a gridlock alert day in Manhattan, so any way you make into Manhattan is going to be an absolute nightmare. We look at the 495 approach right now. This takes you to the Helix into, and this is a different angle of it, but this takes you into the Helix for the Lincoln Tunnel. That's going to cost you about 30 to 35 minutes. And then finally, DWB upper and lower level have been a mess all morning. The upper level is actually worse than the lower, at least it has been for much of the morning. We'll take a look at that. There you go, upper level on the right, lower level on the left, and that's going to cost you 45 minutes into Manhattan. So lots of travel time needed if you're going to make your way in on this day. All right, it is now 7:37. With the holidays here, kids are spending even more time on their screens, and doctors say this time of year can actually accelerate a growing health issue that we've been talking about for a long time now: spinal problems in children and teens, including what's now known as tech neck. Dr. Michael Gerling is the founder and chief surgeon of the Gerling Spine Care and Research Institute. We say good morning, Dr. Gerling. I understand your voice sounds like mine right now.
Good morning, Ken. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, the two of us need to gargle, I think. We both have, it's that time of year. So I'll be your doctor, you be my doctor on this one. All right, Doc, I know during the holiday season, kids have more free time on their hands and they tend to spend it on their screens. So what are you already seeing in children and teens that is concerning you most about this?
Well, I think that we have for a long time been concerned about the posture of our children and how important it is just in general for self-esteem and for overall appearances. But in recent years, we're finding children complaining more and more of difficulty with pain in the back of their neck, more and more pronounced slouching and forward flexion of the upper back, which is likely related to the posture that they use when they're looking at their devices. And now that children are found on average spend about 6 hours a day on their devices, it's more and more evident that something needs to be done in order to intervene on a more structured, programmatic basis to help them.
And of course, with the holidays, Hanukkah right now and Christmas coming up next week, a lot of kids are going to be unwrapping new phones for the holidays. So what should parents know? What do they need to talk to their kids about if that's the case?
Well, I think it has to be a cultural approach, not just the parents, but also the schools, the pediatricians, even structured programs that children can be exposed to that'll educate them to have good habits. Things like micro breaks, in other words, to every 5 to 10 minutes, look up and actually sit upright. There are things that can physically help children, remind them to pull their chest back and sit upright, but also just teaching them proper mechanics, holding the phone in a position that perhaps keeps their head a little bit more neutral rather than flexed forward, and also teaching them exercises that strengthens the back of their neck. So I think that this has to be a real programmatic approach at the school level. The pediatricians, the parents all need to work together in order to try and help children have good habits.
Doctor, I'm just curious, you're an orthopedic surgeon by training?
Yeah, I'm an orthopedic surgeon and I specialize in spine surgery. So I do spinal reconstructions on people.
I asked that only because I've been living, I mean, I had a neck fusion. I live with my orthopedic surgeon is like on my Rolodex. We've been friends for years and I'm always having to go to him for issues separate from this. But as a result, I know that when I use my device, I find myself doing this too. And I have one of those strap things to keep my chest back to
Yes.
kind of remind myself to do that. I'm 58 years old though. I started later. What about when these little kids, 9, 10, are starting doing this? That can only lead to some bad stuff by the time they're in their 20s.
Of course, and we call it remodeling. When parts of the body are accustomed to certain forces, of course, those parts of the body adapt to being in those positions. They will mold and sort of strengthen ligaments in certain ways and tighten ligaments in other ways. So the real point is to try and teach them to have a neutral posture at the outset, which will reduce forces on the different parts of the spine and reduce the chances of having arthritis when they get older.
And at what point should parents seek out an orthopedic surgeon, or so that it doesn't sound, when we say orthopedic surgeon, it sounds so daunting, orthopedist. So at what point should they seek out an orthopedist? Maybe their child is scoliotic. I mean, there are a lot of things that they could have issues with their spines. So at what point should they come see you?
I mean, I think that when there is significant concern of any sort, you should first consult your pediatrician. Orthopedic surgeons will see you and be happy to see you. I mean, I'd be happy to see children in my office that really are not responding to regular cues, such as, postural reminders. If they're having pain, of course, that is the first sign that there's something that's abnormal in the, happening, some type of mechanical problem. Of course, if there's obvious deformity, one would be concerned. It's not just curvature. Scoliosis is when the spine is really curved in the frontal plane, but you can also have flexion of the spine, and there are some disorders that are associated with that. So if it looks dramatic, certainly ask a professional. I would count on a pediatrician or someone to have a general screening. But if you are concerned, just make an appointment and come in and say hello to us, and we'll try to help.
It's a good thing, not a bad thing to have a relationship with an orthopedist like yourself, sir, especially a great one like yourself. What is your website, Dr. Gerling, for more information?
It's girlinginstitute.com, or if you looked up michaelgerling.com, either way, it's the same URL will get you to find us, and we're happy to give you feedback and certainly make an appointment if you need it. We do telemedicine too, so if that helps, people don't necessarily need to leave the comfort of their home.
Well, we appreciate you. And it's Dr. Gerling, Gerling, Dr. Michael Gerling, founder and chief surgeon of the Gerling Spine Care and Research Institute. Thank you so much for coming on this morning. Happy spine to you, sir.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you. And we are coming right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Welcome back to ONNJ Jersey Mornings for your Wednesday at 7:46, and you are watching ONNJ Jersey Mornings throughout the state of New Jersey. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will be here in a moment with the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Good Lord, Mike, I'm seeing temperatures in the 20s everywhere. It feels like I need a fan or an air conditioning.
It's gonna get warm today, and yet this is just the beginning of a milder trend, Ken, that takes us into the 50s by tomorrow. Might be pushing 60 in spots given how mild that wind will be and how strong that wind is by Friday morning. Now, granted, it'll be with some rain, but we're dry today as temperatures start off in the 30s, work their way up into the 40s through this afternoon. We're dry enough to be in about a 1 to 2 inch rainfall deficit for most of the northern half of the state, but we get a good soaking later on tomorrow night into early Friday morning. And even throughout the end of the month, the temperature is expected to be slightly higher than average, not just for New Jersey, but for a good portion of the country. Anticipate some warmer weather ahead, drier than average for points south of, say, the Turnpike right there. You see the Turnpike, and places south and east should be a little bit drier still. So with the weather throughout the remainder of this week turning very mild and, of course, wet later tomorrow night into Friday morning, Friday afternoon is dry but colder and windier, and that sets up for a chilly weekend with temperatures returning to normal. By Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, we're holding right around 40, which is where we should be, but there's the potential for a few opportunities for some precip. Could be some snow, could be some rain, a little too early to tell. It also likely will depend on your location in New Jersey if you see a little bit of rain and snow. But first off, plans foremost on that wet weather and windy weather on Friday, because that is really going to get you, especially early on in the morning, making your way out the door for Friday morning. Yeah, you will feel that wind and rain, especially with the big temperature drop from the near 60-degree high that happens in the morning down into the 20s later on Friday evening.
All right, we are warned. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you for that. And it is 22 degrees right now in Trenton, 26 degrees in northern New Jersey, 25 degrees at Cape May. 7:49 is our time. In terms of traffic, we have a lot of it. Let's go over to Route 18 right now. Take a look at this ugly scene. This is bumper to bumper mess. Unanticipated construction delays. Words we don't like to hear, so you can see the construction all set up right there. This is on Route 18 southbound at West Ferris Street in East Brunswick. All lanes are closed. You see the ones coming at you? All lanes are closed. Don't know what this is about. We're going to try to find out what, but East Brunswick is a busy area. It's not too far from the university, from Rutgers, the North Brunswick campus there. So I don't know what this is about. We'll try to figure out what it is. In the meantime, we do have other traffic to tell you about. We have a debris spill now, Port Street Bridge eastbound, and that has the right lane blocked. And we have a down pole on Route 9, both directions by Butter Road in Upper Township. All lanes are closed there. Overturned vehicle, Garden State Parkway southbound, south of exit 83, which is Route 9 north in Toms River. Left shoulder is blocked, and a crash on the Turnpike Outer Roadway southbound, south of interchange 8 in Robbinsville. All lanes are open with a vehicle on the right shoulder. Your Hudson River approaches right now. We do have a gridlock alert day in Manhattan, so if you can, take mass transit, carpool if you can. It's a mess in town. Your approaches now to the Hudson River along the Holland Tunnel. Right now, it's going to cost you 40 minutes into the Holland. There are some delays there. The Lincoln Tunnel, we are very slow into the helix on 495. And look at the upper and lower levels of the GWB 8095 approach. A mess. The upper level on the right, lower on the left is going to cost you 45 getting into Manhattan that way. 7:50 is our time, and as families across New Jersey continue to feel the pressure of rising costs, PSENG and the PSEG Foundation are stepping in with a major effort to provide relief. The organizations have launched a new $1.5 million community relief initiative, supporting partners working on the front lines. Calvin Ledford Jr. is the president of the PSEG Foundation and director of corporate social responsibility. We say good morning to Calvin.
Good morning, Ken, and thank you for having me.
You bet. Thank you for coming on. Why was it so important for PSENG and the PSEG Foundation to do this, especially right now?
We know how difficult it is for communities at this time. We know that our communities are under-resourced at this time. With the complexities of budgeting out of the federal government, it's impacted a number of our nonprofit communities that we know fill the gaps to where government can't help and assist with our communities. So at the PSEG Foundation, at the heart of everything, we aim to uplift and invest in our communities. So with this initiative, we are investing in almost 30 some odd nonprofit organizations throughout the state, as well as Long Island, everything from hunger, food insecurity, clothing, housing, and we're doing that through some long-term partners throughout the state and our nonprofit community.
Well, rising costs are certainly impacting everybody. What are you hearing now from your communities whom you work with or which you work with?
Sure. So we obviously know about the increased cost in food. We know people are struggling with employment. We know that people are struggling with energy cost. So we wanted to be there. We want people to know that we are a trusted partner. We at PSENG and the PSEG Foundation, we not only focus on providing safe and reliable energy to the communities that we serve. We want the communities to serve that we're also here to be a partner and to be able to help, be able to provide them with information of where they can obtain resources to be able to make their lives better and have more quality of life. And that's what we're about.
And you talk about partners. So you utilize local partners to help maximize the impact, right? So you get community organizations and other companies to help out. Talk about that.
Absolutely. So just last week, we were able to pull together a stakeholder session and have almost 150 nonprofits come together. And I want to thank the Mercer Community College Conference Center for allowing us to host the event at their facility. As I said, we had over 150 nonprofits come together where we talked about collaboration. We talked about resources that were available. We held panel discussions. The theme for that day was for powering our communities, partnering for a more affordable New Jersey. And through panel discussions and individuals speaking about the various resources that are available, we had between 12 to 15 vendors who are available for the nonprofits to communicate with. We had a wonderful day educating communities and letting them know that we are a resource for them and they are resources for each other.
Well, now the funding is also helping families stay in their homes. How do you go about doing that?
So one of the partners is formerly New Jersey Shares Nation, and we funded that institution because they have a number of programs where they help with housing, they help with payment assistance, and through that organization and some of the partnering organizations throughout the state, resources are made available to those individuals throughout the state who really need the help. And so we're thankful to Shares Nations for being a long-term partner with PSEG and PSEG Foundation.
And you all brought together 135 community leaders. That is an incredible feat. How long did that take, and how difficult was that?
So yes, we were working on it for months, and I'm thankful to my staff to be able to pull that together so successfully. But more important than bringing them together, I wish you could have been there yourself, Ken, because for all of the organizations that were there, and a number of them brought multiple members of their team. They met other nonprofits who do similar work as they do and talked about collaborations. We were able to have a panel discussion where we had an individual from a Children's Specialized Hospital who talked about social determinants of health. We had an individual from the Community Food Bank who talked about hunger as well as food insecurity. And we also had someone from, as I mentioned before, New Jersey Shares Nation, current name, who talked about the various programs that they have for payment assistance and housing assistance. So we had a wonderful day. We took the time to educate individuals on the impact of increased cost in energy and how PSC&G is really, with the increased cost, primarily a pass-through. And a lot of the individuals who were there from the nonprofits were unaware of that. So it was also an education session. And so we were proud to be able to do it. And we're getting positive feedback from all over the state from people who were able to attend. And again, we're thankful for them coming out last week.
Calvin, what's a website for people to get more information, or if they're a company or a leader from a community who wants to get involved?
Sure, at pseg.com/social corporate responsibility. You can find out all that we do. We're able to, our partners are there, and we're able to make connections for any nonprofits that want to get involved that were unaware of it.
Well, New Jersey's lucky to have you. President of the PSEG Foundation, Director of Corporate Social Responsibility, Calvin Ledford Jr. Thanks for coming on this morning. Merry Christmas to you.
And Merry Christmas to you, and thank you again for having me. Appreciate it.
You bet. We're coming right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big. Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. Welcome back to ONNJ Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato with the phone lines wide open, 888. Oh, you know what? I got another wide open. I'm sorry. I had them closed if you tried. So give us a call now. 888-658-0234. 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will be here in a second with the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
So, Mike, during our commercial break, I ran out and bought a Powerball ticket. And just so you know, when I'm gloating and your wife says, "Why didn't we get a ticket?" And you could just tell her that, I talked to my financial guy and he said to put the $2 into the IRA, which is fine. So I'm just saying. But listen, I remember my friends, so I'll buy you guys a
Okay.
cup of coffee.
Oh, that's so nice. Make it a cappuccino, please. We like the fancy drinks. A little dusting of cocoa on top, because you might run into a little bit of colder weather by tomorrow morning. After a pretty mild start this morning, Ken, we started off with temperatures in the 20s, but we're already quickly rising through the 30s at the shore, from Long Branch through to Ship Bottom and even down through Atlantic City, thanks to that milder breeze coming in from the south. It's not all that gusty right now, but with a plenty of that warm weather on the way, and I do mean warm because we could be pushing near 60 by the time we get to Friday morning. There's a little bit of a breeze pushing in with gusts up to about 10, 20 miles per hour, but it's the temperature change that really lets you know just how much warmer it is. 20 degrees warmer now at 8:02 on Wednesday morning as compared to yesterday at this time in Tom's River. So a nice milder batch of air on its way in and remaining so through at least Friday morning. So a little taste of spring as well, we're not even done with fall yet, and already there's several inches of snow on the ground. So we're getting all these seasons all at once here across New Jersey, especially with the wind kind of directing our forecast over the next few days, because as those winds pull in that warmer weather from the south, there is a little bit of rain that comes in late tomorrow night, but the heavy rain holds off until pre-dawn on Friday morning. Look at these showers, that line of red, likely some embedded thunderstorms here, springtime thunderstorms, if you will, for late Friday, late in the overnight Thursday to early Friday morning. Some of those temperatures will start off near 60 degrees Friday morning and then come crashing down through the course of the day down to around freezing. So how much rain will fall in that short amount of time frame? We'll look at the animation here, starting off later tomorrow into early Thursday morning. We're pretty quiet. Okay, I got to speed this up a little bit. It's going a little slow. But we start off with the wet weather later Thursday night and then wrap up by Friday morning with anywhere from a half inch to an inch of rain that'll fall in that short period of time. So there will likely be some pretty sloppy roads with the additional melt water from all of the snow that fell from this past week. There's all of the clear sky heading in for the weekend. Patchy clouds, I think. It'll just be kind of the cold weekend ahead with temperatures coming down from the 55-degree high on Friday back down into the average 30s for Saturday and Sunday. But I think there could be some snow in the forecast for next week. We'll detail those chances for some Christmas snow, Ken. That's coming up in a few minutes.
Oh, Christmas snow. Oh, Christmas snow. All right, sir. Thank you very much. I won't do that to people again. We appreciate you, sir. It is currently 24 degrees in Trenton. It's 27 degrees northern New Jersey, 25 degrees now in Cape May. And we look at traffic and we have a lot of it. Let's go to the Garden State Parkway where we have an overturned vehicle. This is southbound Garden State, south of exit 83 US 9 north in Tom's River. We have that, Pam? Garden State? There it is. So you see the Route 9 right there. So this is located by Tom's River, and this has been going on for about half an hour, causing this mess of traffic right now with the left shoulder block. So try to avoid that if you can. Now, on the flip side, what this is, there's also residual delays on Route 9 itself by Route 637, Butter Road in Upper Township. And that is when you get off the exit, you encounter that. We have a crash on the New Jersey Turnpike Outer Roadway southbound, south of Interchange 8 right now in Robbinsville. All lanes open with a vehicle on the right shoulder. And we have a down pole on Route 23 northbound, south of Echo Lake Road in West Milford. The right lane is currently closed. Big problems as you make your way into Manhattan on all the approaches. And this is because we have a gridlock alert day in Manhattan. It's just going to get more and more crowded from now till Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So just understand that if you're going to go in, take mass transit or carpool, because this is just a mess. Your approach to the Holland Tunnel is going to cost you $35 right now. The Lincoln Tunnel is going to cost you $35 to $40. And look at the GWB upper and lower level 8095 approaches. We're talking about 45 minutes either way, the upper level on the right, lower level on the left. 8:05 is our time right now. For more than 85 years, Paper Mill Playhouse has been a cornerstone of New Jersey's arts and cultural scene, from producing shows that end up going right to Broadway to leading the way in arts education. Paper Mill continues to be a vital part of the community. So many people have come through Paper Mill or come in from New York to New Jersey to see shows there. Michael Stotts is the executive director of Paper Mill Playhouse, and Kevin Worley is a member of the board of trustees. They're here to talk about the theater and a new initiative known as the Next Act campaign. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. You could do most of the talking because I have a little something going on in the throat, as you can hear. Paper Mill Playhouse has been part of New Jersey's cultural fabric since 1938. I was there when you opened. Why does it remain so important to New Jersey for so many decades?
I think we serve the community in a very unique way and have for that period of time. As a rather large theater, we're a destination for arts and cultural outings. We've expanded our programming over the years to reach audiences that might not traditionally come to Paper Mill, people with disabilities, people on the autism spectrum. So we really try to create an inclusive experience, delivering a Broadway quality and caliber show. We're known for the level of our activity being somewhat comparable to Broadway. And I think that people come to Paper Mill for this unique experience on our unique site with the babbling brook right next to us, and a courtyard that is full of activity for a very unique experience. And it has defined Paper Mill for these. We're in our 87th season this year.
Well, Michael, while we got you on there, you've been the executive director for 6 years now, since 2019. How has Paper Mill evolved since you took on that role?
Well, we had to deal with a little pandemic in between, but since then we are launching what we're calling the Next Act campaign. As you can imagine, the facilities have had a lot of wear and tear over the years, and over the last couple of years in particular, and looking forward to the next couple, we will be transforming the facilities in our site to really make it more accessible, safer, and more contemporary for audiences of the next generation. It's our obligation to make sure that the theater and our grounds stay relevant to today's audiences. And so my work over the last several years has really been to advance what we're calling the Next Act campaign, which is a fundraising campaign that will raise money for all of these upgrades, some of which are currently underway, really to steward this organization for the next generation of audience member.
And we go over to Kevin. Kevin, you're one of the newest members of Paper Mill's Board of Trustees. Why did you want to take on that role?
Well, Ken, when I left the stage and started my new career in financial services, it was imperative for me to stay connected to that community. It was such a huge part of my life from when I was very young all the way through when I finally decided to make that transition. And I was able to introduce the firm I work with now to Paper Mill and start a sponsorship partnership with them. And it just really went very well. I worked at Paper Mill as an actor a few times in my career, and it really, you've mentioned it before, it really is a destination, not only for audiences, but for Broadway talent. It is a feather in your cap when you get cast, not only as an actor, but as a creative person, the designers and directors and choreographers. It's a place to develop new works, which I think is something a lot of people may not know. They get opportunities right here in New Jersey. You don't have to cross the Hudson or try to go through the Helix, as you just talked about. The traffic can be nuts. Come to Paper Mill. You're going to see brand new pieces of theater almost every season, new exciting shows that you're going to be able to say, I saw first. So when they approached me after a couple of years of this partnership with my firm to join the board, I jumped at it to be able to support this gem of a theater that we have right in our backyard here in Millburn was really a no-brainer. It's been a very exciting start to the year, and there's a lot of really neat things that we're trying to accomplish, and hopefully it's going to be a great conclusion to the Next Act campaign.
I love it. Well, to reinforce what you're talking about, Kevin, I mean, I remember the last time I went into Manhattan to see a Broadway show. And I remember I worked at Channel 7 for over 20 years. So I was in Manhattan every single day of my life. And I remember taking my husband and we tried to get in. It took us 2.5 hours to get into Manhattan from 12 miles away. No kidding, on a Friday. When we got in, it cost us $80 to park. It cost us $200 for dinner. And then the show itself was about $400 for the 2 tickets. And then on the way out, there was a DWI checkpoint for everybody at the Lincoln Tunnel, and it took us 2 hours to get through the tunnel. So in all, we wasted 4.5, 5 hours of our lives, spent like $800, and the show was only so-so. What, who wants to go through that? You got Paper Mill right in New Jersey in Millburn, and it's Broadway quality. In fact, actors go, as you mentioned, from there to Broadway. Why would you do anything but go there? It just makes so much sense. And you folks, community engagement has been part of Paper Mill's mission all along. So why don't we tap on that before we wrap up?
Sure. I think, having Kevin join our board is just one example of how the community gets engaged with Paper Mill. We try to cultivate members of our business community and others in the community to get on our board, join our board to advance Paper Mill's mission in our broader community. That's just one way to get involved. But Paper Mill really does pride itself on getting involved with all members of our community. We offer theater for people of all generations, all backgrounds, and you can come to Paper Mill and see a real diversity of voices on our stage. And that's really important for us to connect our communities to the work that we're doing and bring them into Millburn and involve them in a social and communal theater activity that is actually going to, hopefully add a little light to their day and make us all, just better citizens of the community.
We're up on a hard break, so we got to wrap it. Michael Stotz, Executive Director of Paper Mill Playhouse, Kevin Worley, member of the Board of Trustees. Thank you for coming on, and happy holidays.
Great. Happy holidays to you.
All right, we're coming right back.
Thank you.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big. Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
And welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings for your Wednesday, 8:15 right now. Morning clouds, peaks of sun later, a little milder, highs in the mid-40s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the Garden State forecast for you.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
All right, Mike, right now it is still chilly, although a lot milder than it was 24 hours ago.
True, and it only gets milder into tomorrow, and then the real fun begins tomorrow night. These are the storms that arrive by Thursday evening, put down a little bit of wet weather, but it's the gusty winds and the heavy rain that comes through early Friday morning. It'll be whipping with horizontal rain as soon as we get to Friday morning, lasting probably through about 9 or 10 a.m. on Friday, and then the temperatures come crashing down with a much cooler feel for the weekend. So the weekend weather staying chilly, but overall it's going to feel, I think, like, well, winter should. The start of winter arriving Sunday overnight, 47 as the high, but we'll take it into next week with the chances for some snow on Christmas Eve, the day before Christmas Eve, and then again on Christmas Day. We'll give you those opportunities and time it out for you coming up with our next weather update, Ken.
All right, very good, sir. And in terms of temperature, 24 degrees in Trenton. It's 27 degrees northern New Jersey right now as you get closer to Manhattan. And we have a disabled vehicle to report on the Garden State Parkway. It is northbound, just north of exit 80, which is Route 530 in South Toms River. The left lane is blocked. You could see the oncoming traffic. That's what that is about. We have a crash on Route 29 northbound south of 129 in Hamilton Township with the right shoulder closed. It's a gridlock alert day in Manhattan today, so try to avoid driving in or take mass transit if you can. We look at the Hudson River crossings right now. Lincoln is going to cost you 35 minutes. The Holland Tunnel is 30. GWB upper and lower levels still a mess. Upper level on the right is not moving at all. Look at that. Lower level on the left. Either way, it's going to cost you, they're telling us, 45 to 50 minutes. It is 8:17. High Prop is the smash hit fusion of hypnosis. And maybe it's called hip prop then, hypnosis, and improv, starring comedy legend Colin Mockery and world-renowned hypnotist Assad Mekki. And it's coming to our area as part of the Yes, It's Real North American Tour. High Prop will be live at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, NJ PAC, in Newark this Saturday evening, and at the Crown Hill Theater in Brooklyn this Sunday. Joining us this morning are the masterminds behind the show, Colin Mockery from Whose Line Is It Anyway? And master hypnotist Assad Mekki. We say good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So take up my advice here. It should be hip prop then, right? For hypnosis. Am I wrong?
That's right. Hypnosis and improv together. Hip prop.
There we go. I don't know why we got to beat somebody for putting it in the teleprompter the other way. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of that later. Tell us about how the fusion of hypnosis and improv came together, because this is brilliant.
So I'm the master hypnotist on the show. I reached out through Colin's website, and in that email, I pitched the concept of combining hypnosis and improv together. Colin's longtime manager, Jeff Andrews, got back in touch. From there, the rest is history. We've toured this show over 200 cities across North America, performed off-Broadway, Las Vegas, and now we're coming to your area. We're pretty excited about it.
And that is huge. And of course, Colin is a comedy icon in the industry. So you really need to be the best of your game to handle these two roles, because you're dealing with live people, different potential outcomes every night, right? So talk about that, Colin. What is it like when you're dealing with these different individuals, not really knowing how they're going to respond?
It makes it exciting for me because, when I'm working with the Whose Line guys or whoever, even though we're improvising, I still have a general sense of where they're going. I don't have that with these people. I'm working with people who I've never met before, who are in a hypnotic trance. So it makes it exciting. I mean, they're way better than the Whose Line guys in that they still have life in their eyes, a little bit of hope, which is inspiring.
I love that. But that's the TV industry in general, as you know. I don't have to talk about that anymore. We could talk about that off air. Assad, talk about how, when you start the show by hypnotizing 20 volunteers live on stage, how real does that get? Do you have people who think, oh, I'm not going to get hypnotized, I'm not going to do this? I mean, or have you ever encountered someone who you couldn't hypnotize?
That's why I bring up 20 volunteers. So at the start of the show, I bring up 20 volunteers, I hypnotize them, and then whittle it down to the most responsive volunteers, our hypnotic subjects. And that's when Colin comes in and improvises with the people on stage while they're hypnotized. The show is wacky. It's absolutely bonkers and definitely a weird show, but a very funny show. When I'm whittling down the volunteers, I'm looking for physiological feedback. So I'm looking for changes in rate location of respiration. So breathing changes, skin color changes, skin tonus changes. So I'm looking for a checklist. If I see those indicators of hypnosis and trance, I will keep the people on stage. If I don't, I'll ask them to leave the stage area. 20% of the population are really good subjects for a stage hypnosis show. That's why I bring up 20 volunteers and then whittle it down to the best volunteers from there. I have to tell you, every night is a different night. We've never met any of these people before. They are random volunteers from the audience. Nothing is prearranged. Every night is a different night in that we've got hypnotized volunteers performing with the legendary Colin Mockery from Whose Line.
Yes, legendary and iconic are two words that I still don't think they do Colin justice in terms of the career that he's had. I'm saying, speaking like you're not there. Oh, Colin, you're there.
I'm here, right? I'm still alive.
But it's
Everyone's so nice. I
the
started to worry.
the amazing thing, though, Colin, you've heard, I'm sure, some critics who say, "Well, this isn't real." Talk about that. How real is this? This is 100% real.
100%. I mean, I've heard it all through Whose Line days. They say, well, obviously you guys have planned things, you've written things. We've had it on this tour, like all these people are plants. First of all, we're both cheap. So we're not paying for plants. That's like, 20 people a night in every city. And then to keep that a secret, that would be hundreds of people involved in this conspiracy. It's actually much easier to do it. And as I'm watching Assad every night I'm going, how is this possible? And I see it happen. And the beauty is, friends and family of the hypnotized people see it happen. There was one night, we do an improvised song. I sang with this guy. It was like I was singing with James Brown. He was amazing. He sounded great. It was funny. After the show, I see him with his family. They're all crying. They've never heard him sing before. And he's just kind of a quiet, unassuming guy. Said, "Oh, thank you for letting me be part of the show." And for me, that really struck home that, yeah, this is real.
That is amazing. Are there some reactions from audiences or critics that have really surprised you? Are there some you could talk about that, other than that example?
We've been covered now by the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Time Out, New Yorker. It's been absolutely a smash success as a show. When we were off Broadway, people were just absolutely enamored by the show. And, we've been so pleasantly surprised by the outreach from fans and critics alike.
Well, you two have performed all over North America and Europe. New York, a different kind of place, right? Should audiences expect anything different? And what do you expect of the New York metro audiences?
We just expect them to do our bidding. It's that simple. What I love is there's been really no difference between the audiences we played. The people are people. And what I love about this show is we don't make fun of our hypnotisers. It's all on a voluntary basis. People volunteer to do it. And they're there to be part of my improv troupe. So we're equals in that way. And that's what makes it so much fun. They come up with ideas that real improvisers probably wouldn't come up with. And it keeps me on my toes. And that's what I love about the show.
I love it. Are you able to help teach people improv better if they are comedians wanting to learn improv in real life, or people under hypnosis? Which is the easier person to teach?
I think people actually under hypnosis, because when you're teaching regular people improv, the ego gets in the way. It's very hard for them to deal with the accepting other people's ideas if they think their idea is better. So if they come into a scene and their partner says something that's brilliant, they have to go with that and drop their own idea. And people tend to have trouble doing that. The hypnotized people, they just immediately react to everything Assad and I say. So it makes it a lot easier.
I love that. And how about you, Assad? Should audiences expect anything different, or do you find it easier to hypnotize New York area people? Because I find that New Yorkers tend to be a little less shy. They're more apt to volunteer.
Oh, the New York crowds have been rowdy. They've been so much fun. I have to tell you, you have to win them over pretty fast, though. There's a short period of time where you really have to grab their attention. Some of the other audiences that we performed in front of, you might be able to spin a story and kind of weave a tale. With New Yorkers, you got to get to the point and get them pumped and excited to come to the show, and also pumped and excited to get on stage.
We're very lucky
Well,
in that
hip
I'm an
hop.
icon and
Oh, I'm sorry.
a legend. Being an icon and a legend, it gets them, on our side pretty quickly. So, all good.
Well, you are above that status. You're even above the
What's
icon and
above
legend
that?
status, as we pointed out. Hip hop started years ago at Second City. It's since toured over 60 cities. It's been off Broadway. It had a Vegas residency, and now it continues with this massive tour. Did you ever imagine it would get this big?
No. I mean, we had no idea. As we were walking on a stage for the first time, we had no idea if this was going to work. I certainly had no idea what the show was going to be like, and from our first show to where we are now, it's like night and day. It's like the difference between Pong and Mario Kart. It's become more. There's more levels to it. It's a little more intricate, and we have total confidence in ourselves and also our improvisers, which makes a big difference.
I love it. I love it. Well, what's a website if people want to get tickets or get more information?
So you should go to hyprov.com, hyprov.com. And I will tell you, Ken, I'm amazed at the rocket ship that we've been on. We've now announced our Australia tour. We're going to be going to Australia in April, and we just sold our special, and it's distributed in Canada now. So it's chip.
Awesome. So Hip Hop will be live at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center in Newark this Saturday evening, and at the Crown Hill Theater in Brooklyn on Sunday. Comedy legend Colin Mockery, world-renowned hypnotist Assad Mekki. Thank you for coming on. Happy holidays to both of you.
And to you. Thanks for
And we're
having us.
coming right back.
Good.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big. Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. play it big.
A very good morning. It is 8:30, Wednesday, December 17th. Welcome back to ONNJ Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. Phone lines open at 888-658-0234. Morning clouds, peaks of sun later, a little milder today, highs mid-40s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Well, Michael, I just bought you a Powerball ticket. So if it wins,
Oh, thank
I'll
you
tell
so
you which
much.
one it is. Yes, if it wins, then we're all lucky.
But I remember doing
Powerball.
those office pools, working in the
Oh
newsroom.
yeah.
You do an office pool, and there were all these tickets, and you wind up having to split $4 among 60 people. That was always fun.
By the way, for everybody not realizing, Powerball is currently up to $1.25 billion, $1.25 billion. So go out, even if you have to split it with a few people, it's still good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what Elon Musk made last night, just before dinner. So,
No,
yeah,
did you hear it? For real, for real.
I
As of
know, I
today,
know.
he will be
Yep,
between 700 and 800 billion dollars. No
it's
one on the
wild.
planet has ever had that much wealth for one person.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even
Mm-hmm.
fathom it. The amount of interest he earns in an hour is more than 100 people could see in 10 lifetimes.
It's true. True. It is amazing. Well, you know what's also amazing, Ken? The warmth that comes in for tomorrow, even this afternoon. Not terribly cold. Have some sunshine around south of Tom's River, some clouds moving across central New Jersey, but they don't even last very long as our skies remain clear. Today, down the shore, will likely climb to near 50 degrees with that wind off of the water. It'll actually feel quite nice. Not as harsh as it has been, even though there's a little bit of a gusty breeze right now. Those gusts up to about 25 miles per hour, making it feel a little bit cooler. Sunsets at 4:31 p.m. The earliest sunset of the year. The shortest day, yes, that happens on Sunday, but we're already within 30 seconds of it. So it's basically as dark as it's going to get earlier in the day, as it will all year. Here's the wind that sets up for this afternoon and for tomorrow, with those gusts really coming in for tomorrow afternoon, bringing in the rain by tomorrow night. Heavier downpours just before daybreak on Friday morning, and then a rapid drop in temperatures with that front, powerful front that is, that might even bring some thunder and lightning with that rain later on in the day as those showers and storms move through. So we're clear throughout today. Here's the rain for tomorrow night into Friday morning. Once that pushes through, temperatures drop quickly. It gets colder for the weekend, but it's pretty quiet this weekend. Not anticipating much more than a few passing clouds and another round of cool air moving in for Saturday and Sunday. Beyond that, going into next week, our next chance of a little bit of snow may happen on Tuesday night. This would be the night before Christmas Eve, putting down perhaps some rain and snow. And then for Christmas Day, early in the morning, lasting through the afternoon, another potential round of snow that would be, well, a little magical in my opinion, but we'll see how that pans out. A storm and predicting snow more than 7 days away, challenging, even with our forecast that points to some very mild weather in the short term. So wind and rain for Friday morning, transitioning to very cold weather for the rest of next week. Even down the shore, not anticipating a cool down for you. You warm into the mid 50s as well. Might even briefly touch 60 before those temperatures come crashing down. And then it stays rather chilly into next week. Overnight lows down around freezing, afternoon highs around 40. So cold enough to support some snow, but we'll have to see where that line sets up in the coming days, Ken. So we'll have to keep watching that weather.
All right, we will do that, sir. Thank you very much. We appreciate you as always. It is 24 degrees right now in Trenton, 29 degrees in northern New Jersey, 26 degrees down in Cape May, and it's 24 degrees in Vineland. We have a lot of traffic in the area to talk about now. We have a disabled vehicle on the Garden State Parkway northbound, north of exit 80 by Route 530 in South Toms River with the left lane blocked there. We have another issue with an overturned vehicle on the Garden State Parkway southbound, south of exit 83, Route 9 north in Toms River, the left shoulder block there. So these two incidents are only about 2.5 miles apart from one another. Must be some icing on the roads in that Toms River area. Beware of that. We have a crash on Route 29 right now, and that's northbound south of Route 129 in Hamilton. The right shoulder's closed. Oh, new thing just popped up on the Garden State Parkway. A disabled vehicle on the Garden State northbound south of exit 127, which is US 9 in Woodbridge with the center lane blocked there. We have a down pole in both directions. Look at that. Pam has it. Pam has the incident. Perfect, Pam. Thank you. We have a down pole on Route 9 in both directions, south of 637 Butter Road, Upper Township, and all lanes closed. And we have a crash on the turnpike right now. This is on the outer roadway, and it just refreshed in front of me. So we have a crash on New Jersey Turnpike, outer roadway, southbound, south of interchange 8, Robbinsville, all lanes open, vehicle on the right shoulder. The Lincoln and Holland tunnels right now, I think you have, do you have the Lincoln approach? Route 494 or 139. Okay, either way. So the Lincoln right now, thank you, Pam. The Lincoln right now is 40 minutes in. The Holland is 35 minutes in, just all volume. It is a gridlock alert day in Manhattan. Look at the GWB upper and lower levels, 80-95 approaches. Bumper to bumper right now on the upper level on the right, much better flow on the lower level on the left. Just because you don't see many vehicles on the left, just beyond that point is where they hit their brakes. So you're still about half a mile or so from the top of the bridge, but that's your better bet certainly is going to be on your lower level than the upper level. 8:36 is our time right now, and millions of Americans use mobile apps for everything from fitness to mental health. But when it comes to substance use reduction, experts warn that many of the apps that people download may not be tested, and in some cases they could be even unsafe. A new commentary in the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA, raises concerns about mobile health apps without proper oversight and vetting. John Patrick Allen is an associate professor of social and behavioral sciences at Rutgers and senior author of the JAMA commentary. We say good morning, Dr. Allen.
Good morning, Ken. Thanks for having me.
Well, good to have you on. Thank you. Your JAMA commentary focuses on substance use reduction apps. So what's wrong with the apps that you have seen?
A lot of the apps that we've seen are not evidence-based, meaning that they are not employing or incorporating the tried and true methods to deliver interventions to help people stop substance use of any kind. And the idea is that while people are looking to come off substance use, let's say that's a broad term, so let's focus on one in particular, alcohol. If they're trying to stop drinking or reduce their drinking, people turn to online mechanisms, online apps. And when they're searching through the app space, the app store in particular, they're looking for, they're trying to navigate which apps are going to be able to help them. And the idea that all apps are kind of treated the same in these app stores is an inaccurate kind of assumption. So we want consumers to be able to find and be able to utilize evidence-based apps, apps that incorporate, theories and approaches and frameworks that are known and have been shown to help people reduce alcohol consumption per se.
One of the issues, though, I see, Doctor, is that many of the apps use very scientific sounding language, so it looks like they know what they're talking about and they make these bold claims. So does that lend a false sense of credibility to them?
Yeah, I think the onus is on consumers to be able to differentiate, clinically proven outcomes and unsubstantiated marketing claims. And I'm of the opinion that that's a high, that's a lot of responsibility to put on the consumer to try to be an expert in being able to evaluate apps for substance use reduction or apps for any kind of purpose. So the idea that we put forth in the commentary is that the government can provide some guardrails to help consumers figure out where to go and what apps to use if they're going to use apps in general. Putting this in a broader context, the online space, the app space in particular, could serve a great many people, because what do we know about healthcare in the United States is that individuals often, don't have access to healthcare for costs. They may live in rural areas that don't have access to, getting the kinds of services they need. And so people turn to online outlets, and with the comfort of their home, using the convenience of their phone, they look to try to improve their lives in various ways. And right now, that marketplace is so overwhelmed with so many different options. Many of those options aren't proven, and so individuals get they have the potential to get bogged down in a lot of things that aren't going to help them or aren't demonstrated to help others. And so we want the government to help step in and at least and try to narrow down the choices to apps that are known to be effective for people.
And I know that some of these mobile health apps can help in their controlled studies, but controlled studies have a lot of variables that are also under control, and they don't necessarily work in the real world. So talk about that dichotomy.
Yeah, so scientists are going to demonstrate their different, test their hypotheses, try to answer their research questions by collecting data in various kind of very defined settings. Now, when we think about how those settings translate into the real world experience, that's a far more complicated phenomena. It requires a lot of effort to control for all of the different elements that an individual goes through or that make up the individual as they decide to engage in a substance use reduction app or try to change a behavior of any kind. And so it's hard to map on in the research setting space what's going to happen in the offline space or in the real world. And what we're asking for is that funding is available to test these things, and or companies, before they bring their products to market, to thoughtfully and rigorously evaluate the programs that they're putting out on to society and offering to consumers before consumers are searching through their app store to try to figure out which app is the best.
And just a heads up to people that a lot of these search engines put the apps that generate money at the top. So people should know that. Just because you see something at the top doesn't mean it's the best. It could just be that it was the most downloaded, generated the most money. Doesn't mean it's the most accurate and the best. What is a website for people to get more information, Doctor?
Well, there are different third-party websites that individuals can go to that try to help guide the consumer. Mind Apps is one. But being a thoughtful consumer, that's a burden for people. And so we really want individuals to go to their government websites, try to talk to their physicians and clinicians and see where they can go to, stop, whatever substance
we have
use.
to cut you, Doctor. We have to cut you because we're on a hard break, but we appreciate you coming on. John Patrick Allen, Associate Professor of Social and Behavioral Sciences at Rutgers. Thanks for coming on, and we're coming right back.
Thanks.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, Want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Welcome back to ONNJ Jersey Mornings for your Wednesday. It's 8:45. Morning clouds, peaks of sun later. A little milder today, highs in the mid-40s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the Garden State forecast for you.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
All right, Mike, make it count.
Make it count. It's about, some we're counting the temperatures go up, 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 and we like that, especially after so much cold weather. When we were down around 0, it didn't feel so great. But today, even in northern New Jersey, climbing into the mid-40s, a mix of clouds and sun, even though at times it may seem cloudier than sunny, but I think there will be more clear sky developing as the day goes along. Still very dry weather across the northern part of the state, that area in red, more than an inch of a rainfall deficit, but we may close the gap with some heavy rain later tomorrow night into Friday morning. And then the heat is on, not really for New Jersey, but most of the country right through the end of the year. Drier than average weather too, and some of that slips into the southern portion of the state through the end of the month. As far as the 7-day forecast, we have plenty of warmer weather ahead. Granted, it comes with some rain and then falling temperatures throughout the day Friday. Remember, this 55 degrees, it happens right around daybreak, and then the temperatures slide down into the 20s by Friday night. So it's a big drop all throughout the day, with cooler weather ahead for the weekend and some more chances of rain and snow by Tuesday and Thursday of next week in time for Christmas. We'll see what happens there, but still, there's the opportunity, I think, to see some more wet or white weather next week after the mild finish this week. Even down the shore, warmer and windier. That is the key: warmth, wind, and rain throughout the overnight Thursday into Friday morning, and then a big drop in temperatures, Ken, this weekend.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. And we're gonna get Pam to do something live on the air for us. And by the way, in case I don't see you, Merry Christmas, sir. Thank you very
as well.
much.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir. Pamela. All right, if we get Pam to go to 195 at NJ 138 Garden State Parkway, Cam 1, and we'll show you, Mike, what ugly is. This is ugly. 195 at NJ 138 at Garden State Parkway, Cam 1. That's ugly. All right, so there are 3 convergences here right now. So we have a crash on 195 eastbound, east of exit 11, Route 524, Upper Freehold Township, with the right shoulder closed. And that, let's see, Upper Freehold, let's see, the one left lane of 2 lanes in the right shoulder now, they just updated, are closed. And then when you get over to the local roads, we have a, let's see, there is, where did they just updated this. It says crash on 138 eastbound Allenwood Road and Wall. So anyway, this is a mess, and it's going to be a mess right now. That's in Freehold, actually. That's where the mess is. So just try to avoid that. Again, 195 by exit 11. Just an absolute mess. It's all bumper to bumper right now. We have a disabled vehicle on the Garden State Parkway. I know we have this shot. Garden State Parkway northbound south of exit 127, Route 9, near 287 at 440 in Woodbridge. Center lane is blocked. We got that police shot right there that Pam found. Thank you, Pam. Down pole on Route 9 in both directions, impacting Route 637 Upper Township. All lanes closed there. A little further down on the Garden State Parkway, overturned vehicle southbound south of exit 83, Route 9 north in Toms River with the left shoulder blocked. Hudson River crossings with a gridlock alert day in effect in Manhattan, not very good. Your Lincoln Tunnel approach is going to cost you 35 to 40 minutes. 30 minutes at the Holland Tunnel. GWB upper and lower levels now. The upper level and lower level both have cleared a lot, as you can see. Just beyond this camera is where they do back up. So it's not like it's a total free ride into Manhattan, but it's going to cost you about 20 minutes. That's your best bet of all 3 getting into Manhattan today. It is now 8:49. The holiday season is all about gift giving and hitting the reset button before the new year. And there is a New Jersey-based beauty founder who turned a personal wellness journey into a fast-growing clean skincare brand. Alina Sophia Wang is the co-founder of ESW Beauty, a wellness-inspired skincare company she launched at just 22 years of age. We say good morning, Alina.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for having me today.
Nice to have you on. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Tell me if I'm not, please.
No, that's perfect. It's Alina.
Great. Thank you, Alina. Well, you were just 22 when you launched ESW Beauty. How on earth do you get the knowledge and the vim, if you will, to launch a company at 22?
Yeah, it was basically a little bit, or I took a year off, so it was in college. And I have always known I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I'm a creative spirit and I wanted to build. But I really helped that growing up. My mom was an entrepreneur and I saw her do it. So she actually had a Korean beauty or K beauty distribution company. And that's where I learned how to do real sales, marketing, procurement. And from that experience in high school, I knew that, you know what, I wanted to do this. I wanted to create a skincare brand. And that's how it started. And with my wellness journey, after struggling with stomach ulcers for many years, loving better for you beverages and skincare, I combined the two together. And that's how ESW started.
Yeah, talk more about the impact of the stomach ulcers. What was the impact that the stomach ulcers had on your beauty company?
Yeah, so I was struggling with these ulcers throughout like middle school, high school, and early college. And it impacted me to a point where, you know, I was in serious pain, couldn't get out of bed, and I knew that I needed to have a reset in my diet, eat healthier, live healthier. And I discovered these better for you beverages that made being healthy fun, like smoothies and raw juices. And so that inspired me because skincare is largely made from water. So as an example, these are our best sellers, our sheet mask. This is inspired by a green juice, inspired by a nice pink juice. And with the juicy formulas and clinical actives, they become that face mask used for your skin.
Adorable. And I would think a lot of people who care about their skin would also be caring about their overall health. So they're probably like you, used to doing smoothies, used to working out, used to taking care of themselves overall. It's more than just smearing something on your face. You have to take care of yourself inside and out, clearly. And you realized something was missing in the market. So talk about that. It's difficult to identify what's missing.
Yeah. I love sensorial, beautiful skincare with fun packaging. And, you know, at that time, I wanted to combine this with the, you know, Korean formulas, these excellent clinical formulas that you see with excellent R&D. And I thought, you know what, the market is missing something where you can have a great formula, fun packaging, fun product in an affordable way. And so that is something that I realized was missing, and I brought that into face masks. So today we're a category leader there, our lip treatments, and then in 2026, full size skincare.
That's amazing. And the products are made, as you mentioned, they're made in Korea and they focus on
Yes.
clean, vegan, and cruelty-free ingredients. Why was that so important to you?
Yeah, I think you have, just like you treat your body well with good nutrition, you have to treat your skin well. And there are a long list of ingredients that are not good for your skin that you should not be including that are really firmly stand by. So, for example, no parabens, no sulfates, and in a long list. Vegan is very important for me as well. I don't want to add in any animal byproducts. And then, of course, making sure that all formulas are cruelty free. So that was the foundation for all of our formulas before and today.
A lot of people don't even realize that paraben and methylparaben, you put that like even lip balm on your lips, and it actually, in the end, dries your lips out more than if you didn't use
Yeah.
it to begin with. I mean, it works for the first second, and then that's actually worse for your lips. It creates a worse situation. So that's so important. You spend a few pennies more and do it the right way, and you're better off in the long run. And you've
I
grown
got my
ESW.
trusty lip treatment.
There you go. Well, I will be
Yeah.
buying that today because I need it with all this
Yes,
weather.
yes,
Uh,
yes.
You're certainly right. Now, you've grown ESW Beauty independently, and you ended last
Mhm.
year with more than 4 million in sales. What has been your biggest challenge to achieve that?
Yeah, definitely not easy to, not fundraise. But I think for me, it was always being very mindful with our spending, but obviously optimizing everything we can do with sales. I think I always say being an entrepreneur is like playing a video game. So every year I unlock a new challenge. But I think it's just making sure that we are constantly innovating with creativity and with building community. And today I think, we actually are almost surpassing, we're getting close to 12 million, still profitable, have not raised any external funding, and excited for everything to come.
Love it. And the products are now in about 10,000 retail locations nationwide. That's amazing. What was it like for you seeing ESW Beauty go from a new startup to a national brand?
It was unbelievable. I think it's crazy and, just overwhelming gratitude that I have. I remember when I first started, I was just pitching to one retailer at a trade show, and going in stores the first time in early 2020, seeing it, I was crying. And now today I can walk into any Whole Foods, Walgreens, CVS, Target. I think that it's I'm filled with gratitude, and I have an amazing team to help build. And hopefully you can see them in more stores coming soon.
Well, absolutely. Do you have some quick advice for young entrepreneurs who have an idea, but they aren't sure that they're ready to start or how to start?
Yeah. I honestly say just go for it. I think that's the biggest thing. So many people are waiting for that perfect opportunity, perfect situation, but really go for it because you'll never be ready. And at the same time, when you're doing it, make sure that you have a, minimum like 1 year plan and how you plan on funding your business. But really, it's been trusting my gut the whole time, and just putting my foot on the gas pedal and just keep going.
Well, clearly you know what you're doing. What is a website for more information, Alina?
ESWbeauty.com.
Love it. Alina Sophia Wang, co-founder of ESW Beauty, very, very successful entrepreneur from New Jersey. We love you. Thank you for coming on this morning. Happy holidays to you and all the success in the world.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you. And that is on New Jersey Mornings for this Wednesday, December 17th. I'm Ken Rosato. Morning clouds, peaks of sun later, a little milder today, mid 40s. Have a wonderful day and thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow morning at 7.